there's a fish. There's a fish. And my drag isn't set. There's a fish.
Hey guys, David the Fishing Pastor here, and I know I haven't posted a video for a little while, and I apologize for that. So much going on that I will talk about in a different video, but I am back today with a review and testing of the new KastKing Speed Demon Pro rods. So let's get into it, because this is going to be a good one. Okay, so in a previous video of mine where I did an unboxing, and I'll link that in the cards above just in case you missed that one, I unboxed 3 of these KastKing Speed Demon Pro rods. And so today I want to specifically talk about the Squarebill cranking rod that I got. And so I'm going to talk about some of the features and then actually go out and test the rod and see if I can catch some fish with it. So like I said, this is part of the new KastKing Pro Rod series, and I'm going to just quickly talk about some of the features that it has, and then like I said, get out on the water and test it out. So this is a 6'8" Squarebill cranking rod. So all of these rods are technique specific. I believe there's 15 technique specific rods, everything from frog rods to swim bait rods to cranking rods to drop shot rods and so many more. And just looks really great, but has some really cool features. So it has a carbon blank, a high modulus carbon blank with some nanotube resin technology. And without getting into all the science and all the stuff, what it does is it increases the strength while maintaining a very light weight. I believe it has an added 30% of strength to be able to lift fish and things like that, which is always really good. High strength, low weight. Those two things are really fantastic things, and not things that you find in inexpensive rods. Now these rods are actually at the top of what you would call expensive for KastKing, which really isn't. It's about $109, I believe, or something like that. I'll leave it linked in the description below so you can check it out for yourself. But for a $100 rod, you really can't go wrong. Really well made, like I said, and it really is lightweight. What I look at, especially when it comes to cranking rods, is the action of the rod itself. I'm looking for a moderate action rod, which this one is, and the moderate action just means that the bend is more towards the middle of the rod. And if I'm throwing crankbaits, when you're throwing crankbaits, the reel is important, but really what you're looking for is a good rod, because what you're fighting the fish with is the rod itself. If you have a fast action, extra fast action, that just means that the bend's more towards the tip, and it's harder to fight those fish, easy for them to spit out those treble hooks on the crankbaits themselves. But if you have a moderate action, it has a good soft parabolic bend. You'll keep those fish on longer, because there's nothing more heartbreaking than losing a good fish on a crankbait. But like I said, very lightweight, which is important because you're covering water. You're covering water, you know, making fan casts with crankbaits, and you're making multiple casts. So you know, the lighter the better, so that you don't have to, so that you don't tire out. And what really helps with that is that it has these wind grips as well. Very, very comfortable. These are golf style wind grips. So not only is it light, but it's comfortable in the hand. Very easy to throw. But again, that extra strength, that nanotube resin, the carbon blank, it just means that I can horse the fish just a little bit more if I need to. And if you're throwing a Squarebill, for example, you're trying to pull out of some cover sometimes. You're throwing near trees and rocks and things like that, and it always helps. But like I said, just really great rod. It also has the Fuji guides and the Fuji reel seat, and that's always really important. You want good guides on your rod. They're not going to fray your line, they're not going to break off easily, anything like that. You know, it's a real pain. What you want is good smooth casts and really good quality guides on your rods are going to really help the line just go out with even more ease. And like I said, you want good smooth casts. You're making multiple casts, so having good guides on there is really important. I've paired it up with my KastKing Spartacus Plus reel, which is a 6:4-to-1 reel. I'm not too worried about that. Squarebills I throw between 6:4-to-1 and 7 gear ratio. but I'm okay with either one. And then I've actually done something a little bit different with the line. I have always sworn by 12-pound fluorocarbon line for crankbaits, always. Any other crankbait setup I have is 12-pound fluorocarbon, and I think it's really important for mid-diving, deep-diving crankbaits. It helps that line. It's a thinner diameter, so it helps that lure get deeper, and the fluorocarbon makes it invisible, and it still has a little bit of stretch to it. But I actually this time went with some 15-pound fluorocoat line from KastKing, and there's a couple reasons for that. Number one is Squarebill crankbaits don't dive that deep. They're usually between 2 to 5 feet, anywhere in between there. And there's certain things that I can do with my rod. If I hold my rod tip lower, I can keep it a little bit deeper. If I bring it up, then I can make it shallow. But I went with 15-pound because I don't need to get that deep, and because I am throwing again near cover. I'm throwing near trees and rocks and stuff, and so I just want a little bit extra added power to be able to pull and rip my crankbait out of stuff if I need to. And I went with the fluorocoat line because it's probably my new favorite line. I'm gonna do a whole nother video on this line, just this line itself. Very smooth, and really what it is, it's copolymer line that has a fluorocarbon coating. So it's not 100% fluorocarbon line, but it's copolymer with a fluorocarbon coating, which means that it's very abrasion resistant, because copolymer is very abrasion resistant. But it also has the added benefit of the invisibility of fluorocarbon line. So that's the setup I'm going with. Really fantastic, feels great, looks great as usual. KastKing, they put their logos on stuff. It has the bait keeper here at the bottom, which is a little bit different. I'm used to them being up here. But it looks great, feels fantastic, but it all depends on how it performs on the water. So I'm going to get out on the water and see how it does.
The wind is crazy fast. It's probably between 15 and 20 miles. I'm guessing, can't really check because I don't have any reception here, but this is a little bit more out of the wind. The biggest fish that I have caught in this, from this reservoir, have been out here. They haven't been big. I mean, 1.5 pounds maybe. It's like the biggest. Again, all very rocky. Spooked the fish there. It's probably carp. More than likely, that's what it is. There we go. There's a fish. There's a fish. Not a big one. He's hooked. Good. There we go. There's one. I made the rookie mistake of reeling in too much. Okay, calm yourself down, fishy, before you hook me. It's fat guy. Here he is, first little guy on the Squarebill rod. Okay, well, there's the first one on the Squarebill rod. He's nothing to write home about, but he's a nice little fat fish. Put him right back down in here. He's off. He's gone. Thank you, Mr. Fishy, for letting me catch you on the new Squarebill rod. There's a fish. There's a fish. And my drag isn't set. There's a fish. There he goes. The drag wasn't even set. There's a fish. I don't even think he's very big, but he's pulling pretty good. Oh, snagged up on some other line. He's better. He is better. Look at that. There's fish number 2. Again, not a huge one, but well, this is pretty much what this reservoir has put out for me. Let's set that there. Fish number 2. Little baby. Touched him with my crankbait. Oh, there's another little one. This fish are small. Don't do that. Ow! Spite me. Oh, he's biting me. Oh, stop it. There's fish number 4.
Okay guys, there you go. That is my review and testing of the new KastKing Speed Demon Pro Squarebill cranking rod. I do have a couple more rods from this series, so I'll be doing some more videos on those, so keep an eye out for those as well. But I'm going to link this in the description below in case you're interested, and you should, because it's a really great rod. You know, I didn't catch any big fish on it, but I managed to catch some fish and just kind of get a feel for the rod, and it is a fantastic, fantastic rod. So thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, it's free, and as always, remember to pray, fish, repeat. God bless. I'll see you in my next video.